What's good, world? It's your boy Soundoff the General, man, and there's another Soundoff Sounding Off. Man, I just want to speak on the topic of the thought of refusing to lose. I've noticed in a lot of my music the reoccurring theme of refusing to lose. And if you listen to my music, if you heard The Process, or you've heard The Calm Before the Storm, or even heard songs about K, there is a lot of heartfelt emotion. There's a lot of trying situations or the complexity of life in my music, and I'm a very heartfelt person, so when I write from a place, I'm writing from where I'm at. And one of the songs on The Calm Before the Storm is Refuse to Lose. And it's so interesting. I was just sitting outside trying to figure out what I'm gonna say, and the neighbor is playing with his dog, and he's like, "Get him, boy, get him, boy, get him, boy, sick him, boy, sick him, boy, sick him, boy, get him, boy." And it's interesting because, like, that is my mentality. That's how I attack life. I refuse to quit. I refuse to give in. I refuse to fold the towel. I refuse to wave the right flag. I refuse to give in to mediocrity. I refuse to lose. Man, I've battled heartbreak of relationships, the loss of peers, loss of admiration from communities that once had high regard for me and high esteem. I've lost mentors. I've lost relationships with familial ties. But, you know, at the end of the day, despite the hardship, despite the adversity, despite what I'm going through, somehow or another, God, Source, keeps breathing life into me, and I'm able to keep fighting and keep going. So, I admit it's not always easy. There are some days when I reflect and I look back, it's like, man, I've been through a lot. Like, man, how did things get to where they are now? But one of the most important things that I experienced was when I came into KCL, Committed Center Living by Reginald Kuakaru, Reginald Martin. He had the idea of not being a victim. And once you hear that information about not being a victim, it literally changes your life. It makes you look at life in a totally different perspective. You know, no matter what you come across, what you come against, you have to check and ask yourself, am I gonna be the victor or am I gonna be a victim? Am I gonna quit or am I gonna keep going? And so I refuse to lose. You know, I've been molested, and that's in the music, domestic violence, peer pressure, bullying. At one point in time, I was a preacher and I was amongst the beloved in the community. Now I'm ostracized and I'm looked at as like a villain or a deranged person, or however you want to say it. But, you know, long story short, it's not a pity party. It's not woe was me. It's just another thing I have to get past. Another thing I have to push through. Another thing I refuse to give in to. You know, at various points in my life, I could have given up. I mean, having, you know, 7, 8 manic episodes in the span of 5 or 6 years could break any man or any woman or any person. But I refuse to let what I've been through stop me from being who I know I'm destined to be. I know there's destinies of great things for me. So I just challenge you, you know, As you're contemplating giving up, as you're contemplating quitting and throwing in the towel, think about all of life or what life could be. Because you don't know until you've been there.